Okay. Rolling. Action.
My name is Namit Turki, and as of now, I am a student here at IDC, pursuing my MDes in Interaction Design, and I am one of the 3-member group who make VR films here.
I'm Siddharth Gautam. I'm a 5-year MDes Interaction Design student at IDC. I did most of the editing part as well as the post-production part of the movie.
So myself Yash Kargaonkar, and I am one of the crew members of Maunaraagam. And it might not look like, but I am also one of the lead actors in Maunaraagam and whichever projects we have worked in.
It started off as a course here, one of our modules in MDes Interaction Design. It's called Immersive Media Design, and so we were looking into how people in today's time and place perceive 2D movies and the techniques that are being used in films, and how that could be perceived in VR 360 live action space.
So we had to decide who are the teams, and like we have to choose our team and whom do we have to work with and what do we have to make. So I asked Siddharth, like, do you want to work on something like this?
So I have always been interested in movie making. Has always been a fascination for me to enter into the movie making or like film production field. And VR as a space, always I found it always amazing, like some place where I wanted to explore more.
So that is how we got into doing our first VR project, which is called Majboori. It's a VR short film, live action 360 movie.
As soon as we issued the 360 camera, we got to know or understand the device, that there won't be a background team while shooting a 360 video.
Trying out different type of POV, like tying the camera on the back or like in the front, actually moving the camera rather than keeping it steady. And like through this experimentation, we kind of like understood what space or like what niche in this VR 360 filmmaking we could actually focus upon.
Since it's a 360 video, also you can't get into regulating the lighting or the sound or microphone conditions.
So we finally fixed on like having like a fixed position, but like we wanted to tell the stories through different spaces, so we thought we'll do that through transitions. We had a basic idea at first, then we developed it into a full-on script. We did the casting, we did the pre-production part of it, and again, as we were like new to this, we also didn't know like what to expect. Especially during shooting, we couldn't actually control the people going around or like what are things were happening around, and people were also finding it something new inside the 360 camera, and people were looking at the camera and we couldn't do anything about it. We finished the shooting in about 2 or 3 days, and we tried experimenting in that also. Like not all the scenes were shot in Insta360. We shot a small part of that movie using a DSLR in a closed studio because we thought like that would work for that specific scene.
We sort of segregated our roles upon what interested us within that making process, also upon what our experiences were. Like previously, let's say for example, Siddharth and I had some experience in video editing. I was very fond of making music. I was fond of writing songs. Also wrote the song of Majboori. So Majboori is also not a music video, but most of the part there's a song to it. Also, there was a reason of bringing in song, and which also then translated to Maunaraagam as well. It shifted basically to Maunaraagam, that movie can be a song and there can be some dub dialogue as well, because also it was a course, so it had some limited time as well, and making a song was maybe more efficient for at least for me at that time. So Anand is one of our BDS alumni who helped us so he basically taught us how spatial sound system works or what are the softwares, and he gave some basic inputs to us. And we accordingly put the fan sound. If you like see Majboori, there's a fan sound, and you can basically get that it's coming from the ceiling. There's a door sound, Then there's the clicks, the photo wall click sound, which was recorded later. So many of the things which we did not understand during pre-production or maybe while shooting, we completed them or tried to get through the whole thing in post production.
Herculean task to do the editing part or the post production part of it, because again, like, it's editing in 360, so we were not sure like how to go about it. We had to like straighten the clip up into like a horizontal clip, then we were editing, and when we are sticking it back together into a 360 video, like some parts it's clearly visible that some kind of work has been done there. So all that has been like a learning process for us, and it took a more time than what we expected. We were not actually able to like finish it on time. Because we didn't finish the editing process on time, we were not able to show it to like lot of people at that time. And I still feel like it's a good short film in itself. During the exhibition, we showed it to some people who were interested, and we got like a good amount of feedback, and some of it was positive and most of it were critical for us, because anyway we wanted critique. We need people to critique. So the main thing was that people enjoyed, like for most people it was a first experiencing a 360 VR movie. And something which we noticed that most of the viewers were able to follow the storyline and were not actually distracted by something happening in the background at the same time, which we didn't want them to. So that was a very good point which we understood like through this learning process, that how to do visual cues that people could follow a specific point or specific element in the story.
So honestly, I would say we were not satisfied with our outcome. Also, we were not able to exhibit it properly. So we had got another chance in our third semester that it's an elective. So we requested our faculty that should we work on one more VR project, and then the faculty offered us this song which he had already had. The melody and composition was already done by the faculty itself. The song basically now, which is there, Maunaraagam, is a Malayalam song. And among three of us, Siddharth is from Kerala, so he understands Malayalam. So he explained us about the song. He gave us some good level of translation, not a literal translation to it, because of which it was very easy for Namit to write a script or build a story around it.
Yeah, so we used a song composed by Professor Jayesh only. It was a Malayalam song, and what we did was we tried to make a story around the song.
Very much like Majboori, the process of Maunaraagam is like, it starts with all the three of us sitting down. We had like huge whiteboards in front of us, and then we were just like writing and crossing off ideas. The story that we came up with was is a story of separation and longing, and there are two people who are at two different parts of the world, and so we literally divided the 360 space into two parts. And with the spatial audio being in the music video as well, the spatial audio was divided into three 120-degree sectors. So I guess this one also comes with traditional movie making, that you have to be prepared a lot beforehand. You can't just like go somewhere and shoot. You have to be like the very first thing that I can think of at the top of my head is the location. You have to actually go there, see during the time which you are thinking of doing the shoot, that how is the crowd there, what happens, do people even bother about it. So that is something that you need to take in consideration. And since it was an outdoor shoot, so you have to take care of the weather as well. It should not rain, and it's a garden setting, so you have to take care. The sprinklers are not on, or the workers are not working, and things like that. So even if we got one type of shooting done, we would do the other variations of it, so that we would actually have options to choose from the many variations that we had. So that is something that we learned from Majboori that we did not do first. Once that is done, then we would think about characters. So basically, who would go best into playing that particular character. So we would think about people and their availability, not just like the way that they look or the way that they sound, maybe their like expressions and body movements as well. So all of this is taken into consideration.
So we had to record the vocals for the music video. It was sung by Harold and Devika, and that was the only sound related part we had to do other than the spatializing part of it.
Maunaraagam neeti adilanenuyerunna layaneedu.
Then the main thing was to add these connecting elements between these two parallel stories, which were in the form of paper aeroplanes, and which again was like a newer task for us, but we figured it out, and we were able to finish it in the time gap of 2 weeks, and we were able to exhibit in the final exhibition for the course.
Starting from the narrative itself, a lot of things were not being conveyed. People did not find that a lot of time inside the music video has passed. So the passage of time was not being conveyed. And there was a lot of technical issues as well with the spatial sound, and even the costume was something that is not changing. So the people did not really think that it is a story of a longer and overtime. Basically, they thought, okay, it just ended in a day. So, like, what is the big deal? Okay.
We were also looking at few national and international competitions where we can submit VR films, or were there any filmmaking competitions who were, interested in taking VR films as their entries. But since we had a version of Maunaraagam, which we were not satisfied much with, we thought of reshooting it, and that was a pretty good decision.
Based on the feedbacks only, we kind of made the performance part of it a little more tighter. We scouted for more locations which would work better, and we wanted to show this change in time also. So we thought we'll shoot at the same location but at 3 different times.
So first of all, casting was again the issue that we wanted people who were readily available, and agar kuch gadbad ho gayi, so they had to be come again. So we were thinking of taking someone convenient or who we know. So I have seen Saumya. Saumya is our junior, and when she was admitted, we had a sort of conversation regarding what she does. So she was too much into classical, and I had seen her Instagram reels or other performances as well. So what I thought that since in the first part, when we shot Maunaraagam first time, thought that it was mostly of a bodily expression. We don't need much of a face expression, but again it was a bonus thing if we get it. So we thought that casting a dancer would be a better choice. So again I approached Saumya.
Hi, I am Saumya. I am a student here at IDC. I am the actress who plays one of the lead characters for Maunaraagam.
I thought that maybe we can cast her, and I showed her the first version. I sent her. She saw it, and then she gave a thumbs up that we can do this. So like us, for the first time, Saumya was also clueless about how the VR 360 thing works, because there's a prominent camera in traditional filmmaking.
I was at home, and then one day Yash contacted me saying that they want to shoot a VR film. He sent me the previous version, and he told me that he wants to reshoot it with me because he thinks that since I come from a classical dance background, I'll be able to pick up faster. And the project looked really interesting, and I saw the previous version and I said yes. So when I came back in January, we started shooting for it. So it seemed fun, but I had never worked around any VR project, so I really did not know what to expect.
Before when Saumya did come. So it was started in late December only, and we were looking at how the sun pattern is throughout the day. Ki morning how is it, then afternoon how is it, and in the evening how the light is. And we were taking a 360 camera, taking the sample shots. That is how locations are shortlisted.
Until I came here and I actually saw the camera and how the set was being spaced out, I had no idea how to do or what to do. So previously Yash had briefed me about what I am supposed to be doing in the act and how the script has been written. But there were a lot of challenges at the location during the time of shoot. So before starting the shoot, we actually one day before went to the location to just kind of rehearse and get acquainted with the space and how we or me is going to navigate the space. So if you've seen the movie, I am supposed to make paper planes and throw them. So these paper planes were not folded in the normal style of folding paper planes that I had been doing since childhood. Namit was particular about how to fold the plane so that it can fly a longer distance. And that day of rehearsal really just took me to learn how to fold it into Namit style paper planes. So the second challenge was to throw the airplane at the point that we required, which was over and around the tripod. And that was very important so that continuity can be maintained. That was difficult and I had to practice, and environmental factors like the wind were not very supportive.
We shot this in 2 days. Again, with the thing of 360 films is we can't take cuts in between. Since it was a morning, then afternoon and evening wala scene, so basically like the change of the sunlight, the cut of the first scene should be the start of the second scene. So we also mark down the positions or the poses in which the actress or the actress should sit in, and so that it can smoothly transit to the second scene. So it was also difficult to go and change the costume because the place where we were shooting, it's like Shitish Garden, and the student residential zone is a little bit far from that. So the Saumya has to find a nearby hostel or maybe go by auto and then go and change and come back. So by the time we have to also manage that within that day only, whatever the position of the sun or the light we want, it should be there. So we track the time that 12:30 tak this sunlight will be there. After that, we don't want 12:30 wala sunlight, we want 2 o'clock wala sunlight, and after that we want 3 o'clock or 4 wala sunlight. So had to complete everything within that.
We were laughing most of the time. Sometimes I would laugh when I was shooting as well. But it was fun. I had a lot of fun.
Another main thing which we tried to focus and make it better in the second iteration of the movie was the paper planes part, which was like a main element in the movie. So this was that one visual element which was connecting these two worlds. We shot everything using a physical paper plane in both scenes where, say, one person is throwing. We shot it, and for the other scene, we shot a paper plane reaching the other person. But then again, it was kind of difficult to match everything in real life. So what we had to do was that the starting position and the ending position were kept, and the trail or the movement of the plane, we had to do it in post. We took a 3D model, then we had a 3D model of a plane, paper plane, and then we animated it in After Effects. We tried to follow a natural path, and it kind of worked out at the end. We were able to match the lighting when it was changing from one scene to another, and it kind of helped to maintain that connection between these two worlds. The main part was to make the experience as a whole better. So this kind of has to do with syncing the music and the audio part to the visual, or like putting better audio and visual cues. Also like a bit of color correction, color grading, making a mask or like masking out like unwanted things to a better extent or like a larger extent, and also like trying to sync these two different worlds together and making it look like a single story, but at the same time it's two parallel stories. We tried to preview the movie as we were editing in the headset only, so this kind of helped us to kind of understand the 360ness or like the spatialness of the audio as well as the visual. Then also for the second time we got Ananda to help us in the spatial audio part, Ananda Batena. He helped us to spatialize the audio into 3 segments of 120 degrees. So one part had the male vocals, one part had the female vocals, and the music part or like the backing track was in the entire 360 sphere. Also, Midun helped us to do the branding part of it. So, because we were trying to make the entire experience better, we thought like we'll also focus on the branding or like how to market it or how to put this thing out. So, he helped in the branding part of it.
So initially, we were thinking to submit it in normal film festivals that happen here in India. But since it was also an XR thing, so the particular track for XR in VR films was not really available. So that is how Laval came into our minds, Laval Virtual, which is in Europe's biggest XR event.
We never thought of submitting into Laval because again it was not traditionally for VR films. It's an XR event definitely, but we are not thinking about getting there. But since it was much of a technique based, and then we are using parallel narratives, and there was a spatial sound effect also in it. One of the novelty was that everything of this was happening in live action. So it was a video file and not an APK or not hard coded thing. So that was a uniqueness in that project. So what our guide suggested that you should submit it, and it is better idea to have a deadline to a project, at least a side project, so that we can complete it on time.
So we submitted into Laval, and the submission process itself is it takes a lot. Predominantly there has to be an explanatory video. So we also shot that. Meanwhile, we were refining and busy with the editing and post-production for our actual project. So we made the explanatory video, and then there are other things, 100-word explanation, 1000-word explanation, your logo, images, poster and whatnot. So we got done with that and we submitted.
I was doing the color grading and I was sitting in the lab. I got an email, and the email said congratulations, and then I opened it properly. I read it, and then again I was very happy that we got selected. So I called Namit, I called Siddharth.
I was in my hostel room where Yash called me, and then he said that we had got selected for Laval in student demo pack, and then I was like, okay. I did not think he was joking, because Yash doesn't joke about things like this, so I believed him, and then I was really excited.
Laval came off as a surprise because when we were going through the previous year projects, or like what all kind of project students usually presented, it's never a 360 VR movie, like which is especially live action. So we were getting to present it to a larger audience of and these audiences like people who are used to XR experiences, and also you are getting an opportunity to get reviews or like feedback from people who have seen other XR experiences. It's like a big achievement for us. So because of that only, I thought like if we are taking it there, we should take the best version of the movie.
We were still refining our work. That is when Animela happened. Animela is an international animation festival which happened here in Mumbai. So at the time we also got selected for that as well in the XR section again. There we had our first exhibition and feedback session for the project that we for the part that we actually reshot. And there are a lot of people from film background, animation background, and a lot of people who are already in XR spaces actually saw our work. So that was the first real valuable feedback that we had by industry experts.
And we got feedback from different like type of people from different industries. That was one of the things what Animela gave us. That people from design background, people from filmmaking background. There were some actors, really famous actors who got and tried it. Then people from technical background, students. There were many students. We had some time. I think we had 1 month to go to Laval and present. So we implemented most of the feedback which we got.
So along with the three of us, the team Maunaraagam, we had another team from IDC and our interaction design class as well. Shout out to Stardays. And the 5 of us took off from India to Paris, and there we reached Laval. So basically we had received 2 days for the setup, and we went to the location and we had our section, the stall given to us, where we had to put up our posters, our explanatory and visual posters for the project, which we had already printed and took from India. So then the actual event went on for 3 days, and where we exhibited our work. Got to exhibit our work in front of an international group of jury who critically saw our work, gave valuable feedback.
Again, but one thing which felt made us like very out of place there is that the lack of VR live action narratives there, because again much work has not been done in the VR space, especially to do with live action. So it also felt like a huge honor that we could be there while other projects were mostly like engineering driven or like programming driven.
And we realized that it is the thing that we are doing is very nascent, is very baby steps. It takes a lot of time and effort and a lot of staying together and working on things to actually get to that position where your work is actually considered worldwide.
It's very beautiful to track back and see the type of feedbacks which we used to get. Initially, we used to get feedbacks from people who we were working with, people like this who were on guide. Then we got some of the feedback from other faculties. Then we got some of the feedback in the first Maunaraagam exhibition, which was basically our juniors and our batchmates only. And then Animela happened, and we got feedback from national level individuals. There were some international visitors as well. And now we are going there, and we are getting feedback from different people, from maybe the most diverse audience which we could have reached at that time. Many people actually cried while watching the film, and that was again very emotional for us, because again while shooting we didn't think that something like this can happen. So when people showed express their emotion, we thought that maybe this is something that a narrative based 360 system can work in.
The point where I sort of realized that we were doing something substantial, and the fact that people were liking were the part where we were exhibiting. So exhibitions and taking feedback from people was something that I felt was really moving. That they, while appreciating the project, they had to say a lot of things about it. The things that they felt while just watching, and then the things that reminded them of something else from their life. So that is something really moving, that you actually created something and then you were able to make people feel a certain way.